Hello everyone, my name is Darbah T, Skaf, and I'm the Executive Director for the Statesville Housing Authority and also the President of the Ardell Statesville Community Richmond Corporation. Hi David.
Hey Darbah.
David is the previous Executive Director and the former President of the Statesville Housing Authority in ISCEC, and you have championed art and culture and sports and technology throughout the entire country in America. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, everybody's not going to go to college. And some of our kids get lost along the way because they don't fit in. And I knew that basketball helped me get through life. And so I wanted to do something for the kids I knew that they enjoyed to do. And need to teach many lessons through sports. So we started out with a team. My buddy was in Winston-Salem, and he was running the Boys and Girls Club. And he would always challenge me to get my guys together so I could come over there and they could whip me, you know, or he could come over here. And so that's how we started. And then we found out that was a great idea because we watched our kids. You know, when you put them on the uniform, you got the coaches out there, you got your referees out there. It becomes organized, you know? And it really helped them to develop other skills, you know. Now, whistle blows, you know, it's time out, you know, 3 fouls, 4 fouls, 5 fouls, you know, the rules apply. The rules are for everybody, and everybody gets accordingly. So that's where we started, and then it spread throughout the state. We started to form our FASEC, Public Housing Authority State Athletic Conference. So we had about 28 teams in there to start with. That was under the drug elimination grant. So we had funding to do things with our youth. And it was proud to be drug-free. We wanted kids to stay off the drugs and things of that nature. Maintain a C average. I know that's not requiring a lot, but it certainly gives us a level of accomplishment for a lot of kids that we were going to be going through.
So you've been in housing, you saw community development, and we've done a lot of improvements throughout the nation when it comes to family self-sufficiency and having that family unit where people can do all the things, like you said, outside of going to college, right? So that ended up becoming more of a cultural thing, and you then decided there was a way that we would bridge this gap between the haves and the have-nots, right? And so we did the Allison Summit subdivision, and we acquired the land. And then you talked about what happens in the home. We've had the African bee where we did poetry. And we did poetry, and we did singing. And you actually had a former resident that actually went international on his art. He went to Juilliard, right?
Right.
So tell us about that a little bit about this kid.
Well, Anthony was a dancer, and he performed all over the area here. And once he finished high school, he was able to get a scholarship to NAMDA, National American Music, NAMDA, North American School of Music. Anyway,
I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out.
And after that, he graduated from NAMDA. He went to, he got a scholarship to Juilliard, and now he's dancing international. He was on TV show America's Got Talent once, and he finished and won the finals. But that was one of the things that got me interested in doing some of the art things. And you know, we started Club Depot. We had, the city gave us a depot for $1 a year. And so we turned that into office space for ISCEC. And then we had on the other end where people used to sit. We turned that into a club, and we did poetry every night, you know, the spoken word. And we had lots of residents come out, you know, they could turn that rap into poetry. And, you know, so a lot of people do it. We had a couple of people in there that were, I'm telling you, they were really good.
And then we end up discovering a young man
Yeah.
that was in the 5th music, right? And so we said we needed somewhere for the kids to hang and play. IE came about the David J. Meachem Cultural Arts, Sports and Technology Campus, right? Which would mean the Housing Authority Board generously agreed to name it for you, right? Yes. Thank you very much for accepting that order. You've done so much. So we have this grant called the Levitt Foundation Grant, and it's to promote art, culture, dance, entertainment for community members to come together and have somewhere where they can enjoy those talents, share those talents, but also build some community oneness where we can all get to know each other. I can enjoy your country western music, you can enjoy my African dance music, right? You can learn from me, I can learn from you, right? And so that's what this grant is about. And so we want everyone to come and vote for this grant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you what do you think about that? How do you think about this
I think it's a wonderful idea that you came up with.
Well, I did it. Statesville did it. Statesville.
Yeah. Whoever. That's a wonderful idea, and it's growing the concept that we had, the ideas that we had about promoting arts and culture as a way to educate people and to build relationships. Our motto being building community bridges through partnerships. We need to form. We can't just do it by ourselves. We realize that. And I'm telling you, your kudos right now, because I'm so glad that you kept that part of the mission going on after 10 years to 17 years.
10 to 13 years.
It's been a long time since I retired. But after 27 years, I did here. You come along and pick that ball up and running with it.
You know, the amazing thing, David, is this is where we're sitting right now. This is the Collier Enrichment Center.
Right.
And we're in the central part, geographically, of Statesville, right? So this art campus, having it right here, this land that you secure from many landlords, many partnerships, including the Colliers and some other landlords in town, that this is actually the central location where people from the south, people from the north, can get together and just have a kumbaya. Because we have kids that sit from north, south, east, and west, sitting classes during the year, but like you always say, when that bell rings, everybody goes to the different areas and don't get back together until the next classroom time, right? So this being the center of Statesville, let's encourage people so they can come out, vote, and make this place where everyone within Statesville can enjoy. Because we're geographically centered.
And we had a building before that was more to the northern end of Statesville, and it was kind of like isolated. You would come out surrounded by a lot of things, but when the board challenged me to find us another place because it wasn't handicap accessible, it was small, we really were growing it, and this came available. And this was an old brownfield spot. And I didn't think that we were going to be able to use this at all. But I had an architect friend that came in and he helped me at my former station in Albemarle. And he says, let's get this soil tested. And we got the soil tested and found out that we could get this for a song in the dance. And then the colleges owned it. Land adjacent to us, and they donated it to us to where we put the Meachem Park and this skate rink. And so we came together. It was almost like a godsend. We had ideas, but touch it.
We're almost there. So just to recap, so we did this building when as the technology center. So we have the training rooms, we have the kids room, we have the residence boardroom. We did with Meachem Community College this nursing here it has. And as we sit in this room, it's our beautiful green room. We have the stage that has lights and sound that we can do band and poetry and anything that's artistic but more of a dance art, something like that, contemporary art, right? And then we have the skate park that we did along with Christian, our partner. And then we did the pickleball court with the multiplex with basketball and tennis. And then we did the putt-putt golf range, right? Our kids do have putt-putt, right, in the park here. And the next phase is to kind of make sure we have Wi-Fi here across the building, do the amphitheater, and then do the arts building, where we decided we're going to do an auditorium on the bottom, classrooms in the middle, and probably some recording and art studios on the top, right? And we're doing all of this so that all of art and culture can be in one place, centered within Statesville. We're going to have an art cultural hub, right? Because it is scientifically proven, I think, that mathematicians or kids that do well in math and sciences usually have some instrument and some music and something else involved, right? So in order to create a holistic person, we're doing all of this stuff with our partners, the city of Statesville, with our partners, the Levitt Grant, hopefully, Foundation, hopefully, and especially with what the blueprint that you left behind for me to pick up and continue to do this work. So we want to say thank you to all of Statesville. We're encouraging people to come up, vote. This is not just for today. This is for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, for the next 100 years. We want to make sure that these kids have somewhere that they can go to, somewhere where they can express themselves. What do you think about that?
I think that is wonderful, and you add components to the original ideas that I think is going to expand it to reach more and more of these kids, particularly those who we call at-risk kids, but it's going to reach multitudes of different cultures within the community, because we're not just going to focus on the at-risk kids, we're going to focus on people that have interest in arts and crafts and different kinds of things. And I think this grant is a wonderful idea and endeavor that you all have undertaken, and I support it 100%.
Amen. You heard it from David J. Meachem, from the David J. Meachem Cultural Arts, Sports and Technology CAST Center campus. We want to make sure that everyone comes out and vote. ISCEC, and David, just to say this before we leave, ISCEC has already invested close to over $3.5 million into this project for all of the citizens of Statesville. So please, vote, vote, vote. We want to party, we want to dance, we want the African bee to come out. We're going to leave, and I want Mr. Meachem, hit that African bee. Set that ball. Go ahead, use that ball.
I can't say much of it.
Go ahead. Just say 1 or 2 words of the African bee.
I stepped into the club. The whole place was blossom, pan, possum. Knew just who I was. That's enough already.
Vote, Levitt Grant, SVL. Look on the screen, follow the instructions, bring this back to Statesville. We want to party this summer, we want to party next summer, we want to party the summer after that for David J. Meachem Jr. I call him AKA Barefoot Joe. Thank you, Mr. Meachem, and thank you for the wonderful work you've done for Statesville. God bless you.